Hey, how are you? So for a long time the Specialized BG Romin has been my go-to saddle for about the last 5 or 6 years. This video highlights some of my likes and dislikes of it, having ridden more than 10,000 kilometers using it. But firstly, let's take a closer look. I want to start by saying that choosing a saddle is a really personal thing. My shape's going to be different to your shape, but there are definitely some features to look out for in getting a comfortable saddle for yourself. So here's 3 things I really like about the Specialized BG Romin saddle. Number 1, it's kind of that cutout section through the middle that really just alleviates pressure from that gentleman area. Number 2, the streamline shape of the saddle works really well for my sit bones. It's the narrow 143mm version, and as a result I've never experienced any chafing in all the kilometers I've done in the saddle. Number 3, I'd say there's plenty of wiggle room for achieving different positions on the saddle, because you've got that really long nose, so you can kind of move a bit forwards and put your pressure a little further back, and then start introducing some different muscle groups, relying more heavily on the quads at times, introducing the hamstrings to a small extent, and activating the glutes a little more. So I found it really effective just because of its size and shape. So here's a couple of things I don't like so much, but just some pretext first, because up to 150 kilometers, this is literally the perfect saddle. But I find after that distance, I get into a bit of trouble. But then equally, I've heard people say that after this threshold, many people run into trouble with all kinds of saddles. Number 1, I'd say numbness when riding is huge for me. It's less than desirable, losing almost total sensation of everything down below. It's probably because the saddle is so rigid and there's no give really at all. Number 2, I'd say, is little padding, which of course helps with the shape of the saddle, but after a 10+ hour day or even an ultra race, I really find that my sit bones are in agony, probably even bruised after that 72-hour ultra I did. I'm 6 weeks down and I still can feel a bit of pain there. I feel like a little more padding would help that. Number 3, I'd say something to do with the nose of the saddle. It's really good and long for achieving all kinds of different positions on the saddle, but it also gets in the way of achieving comfort for me, because I'm constantly having to readjust things to just find a position that works, where there's no friction. Yeah. So that's it for the Specialized BG Romin. 3 good points, 3 not so good points. But you'll be glad to hear recently I've been recommended a new saddle. It's the Prologo Dimension T4. So let's take a look at that. Me again. So I've been out a couple times on it, and so far so good. There's more padding, there's not that nose getting in the way. It's just great. I wonder how it'll be on the longer distances, but we'll have to wait and see for that. Now, the final call to action. Have you got any saddle recommendations? If you do have any tips as well, please drop them below in the comment section. I'd be really interested to hear from you. That would be fantastic. But for now, have a good one, and I'll see you next time. Okay, done.